issue of the week.
Ethiopia has started to drone production. Ethiopia has officially announced that it has built the capacity to produce drone to be leveraged for local and export. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has inaugurated Skywin Aeronautics Industries, a company that manufactures unmanned aerial vehicles for both civilian and military use yesterday. This industry is part of Ethiopia's broader efforts to achieve technological self-reliance in the security sector. Ethiopia has developed the capacity not only to produce and utilize drones but also to export them, the Prime Minister announced on the occasion.
As we inaugurate Skywin Aeronautics Industries, we recognize that the locally manufactured drones before us were unimaginable just a few years ago, the Prime Minister wrote on X. The Premier added our ability to produce drones with diverse capabilities, designed and built by our own young professionals, is a significant milestone. He added that to sustain this progress, we must invest in continuous research, expand our market reach, and strengthen local production of smart sensor technologies.
See outlet The Matter of Existence for Ethiopia Institute of Foreign Affairs, IFA, Executive Director Jafar Bedra said. Ethiopia with large population, landmass and economy, sustainable access and outlet to the sea is an issue of existence. The executive director noted that Ethiopia is the largest and biggest country in population, economy, and landmass in the Horn of Africa.
Ethiopia is an issue of existence. The economy is growing, the population is growing, and Ethiopia is the biggest and the largest and the biggest country in the Horn of Africa. So without access to the sea, the economy is going to stagnate and it could go backwards. This is going to create huge instability within the region. If we don't have a stable political economic system, this is going to threaten stability within the Horn of Africa. So this is one thing that our neighbors should understand.
Jafar stated that a stable and prosperous Horn of Africa region is impossible without ensuring access and outlet to the sea for Ethiopia to easily export and import goods. The foreign policy of Ethiopia prioritizes neighboring countries and the Horn.
Foreign policy, particularly in the post-2018 political reform process within Ethiopia. One of the principal pillars of Ethiopian foreign policy is Horn First or Neighborhood First principle, which prioritizes regional integration and peace and stability and mutual cooperation among nations of the Horn of Africa.
At large, because Ethiopia shares population, language, border areas and common destiny, the executive director pointed out, emphasizing that the existence of the region depends on understanding one another, coming together and building a shared and unified political economy among nations of the Horn of Africa.
Ethiopia prioritizes its neighbors because whatever happens within our neighbors is going to directly impact the security, the economic stability and prosperity of Ethiopia directly, because we are neighbors.
Ethiopia prioritizes its neighbors because whatever happens within the neighborhood is going to directly impact the security, economic stability, and prosperity of Ethiopia. Similarly, neighboring countries should understand the realities and collaboratively work with Ethiopia to ensure that the country secures sustainable access and outlet to the sea.
Peaceful ways and transactional ways that we can do that to make sure that Ethiopia has access to the sea. Ethiopia has a lot of resources that its neighbors need, a lot of economic resources. So we can do exchange of these resources to make sure a peaceful way of allowing Ethiopia to have an access and outlet to the sea.
Peacefully, and the region sustain economic growth and political stability, Jafar underscored.
Ethiopian Airlines has deployed all-female crew flights to Athens, Bahir Dar, Athens, Delhi, Dubai, Windhoek, and Sao Paulo as part of the International Women's Day, reinforcing its commitment to gender inclusivity. Ethiopian Airlines Vice President of Marketing, Rahul Asifa, senior management of the airline, and the entire flight crew, who traveled to Athens on this special flight, were warmly welcomed. Public figures including Ethiopian athlete Mesete Dafar, Artist Alem Sahai Wadaho and other renowned Ethiopian women participated in this flight. Ethiopian Airlines celebrated International Women's Day with vibrant events yesterday. All-women functional flights were operated to 6 destinations in 5 continents to celebrate the occasion, it was indicated.
Ethiopia Gateway for Kenya to broader North Africa, able to plug into African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, positions it a gateway for Kenya to the broader North Africa. Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KAM, CEO Tobias Alando said. Addressing the Ethio-Kenya Business Conference held in Addis Ababa.
For Kenya, Ethiopia enterprises to access broader North Africa. Now, businessmen in collaboration, Kenya and Ethiopia, we can work jointly to even access other markets or other countries around us. So this collaboration will benefit not only Kenya or not only Ethiopia, but both countries. Kenya is proud to associate with the Ethiopian businessmen and women, and I believe Ethiopians are also proud to associate with the Kenyan and businessmen and women, and we look forward for conversations.
Ababa Chamber of Commerce and Sectoral Associations Acting Secretary General, Zacharias Asefa, said Ethiopia and
Kenya have sustained long years of diplomatic relations dating back to the early 20th century. Besides the geographical proximity and the closeness, the two sisterly nations have forged strong ties in terms of diplomacy, trade and investment, culture, sharing natural resources, among the few to cite. The relentless diplomatic ties of the two nations have resulted in fostering bilateral trade and investment ties in the areas of agriculture, tourism, and other
Kenya's
sectors
ambassador
of the
to Ethiopia, George Orina, said the Ethiopian market has undergone significant changes recently.
The market has
The
undergone
opportunity
significant changes since the last time you were here in April 2024, and the opportunities they are in are abundant. In July 2024, the National Bank of Ethiopia introduced reforms in the foreign exchange regime to allow banks and investors to buy and sell foreign currency at freely negotiated rates and
foreign
transact
currency.
in foreign currency.
On his part, Johannes Fanta, Director General at Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said
Ethiopia and Kenya have been solid allies, dependable and strategic partners over the years. The government of Ethiopia has always been consistent in attaching huge importance to its bilateral relations with the government and the people of the Republic of Kenya. Given the enormous potential offered by our two countries, there is a huge trade and investment opportunity for our people to cooperate and work closely.